So I went to the doctor recently and I have been having this hip pain for off and on for about 4 years. And I, of course, told the doctor about this hip pain. I also had a baby recently, so that kind of exacerbated the hip pain, and not sleeping well has really made it worse. And I was kind of describing it, and the doctor was like, well, was there an injury or like what instigated this? And I said, yes, I got kicked by a horse in my hip, right in the joint 4 years ago. And ever since, this hip has been bugging me. And you know, I'm a certified personal trainer, I'm a health coach, I eat a fairly clean diet, but definitely since having a baby, I've fallen off the wagon a few times. And he was like, yeah, the best thing is you're gonna need to rest. And I, of course, was like, that's probably not gonna happen. So I did my own research and I found that, sorry, baby is now playing with the camera. Let's move you over here. So anyway, doctor said you're probably gonna need to rest, and I felt like that was probably not gonna be realistic with my lifestyle with an infant and an active job. However, I have been kind of taking it easy, but I've also really started to address inflammation in my body, and I have found that to be super helpful. So of course, this is anecdotal. Always take your doctor's advice. I am resting, so that could also be part of what's helping. But in general, I talk a lot about inflammation, and I just thought this was a great kind of jumping off point to talk about inflammation in people. So let's talk about that. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ruby. I help horses and their humans be as healthy as they can possibly be. And today we're going to be talking more about the humans. If you want to learn about inflammation in horses, which is also a really important topic, check out the video I have linked here. Otherwise, let's jump into humans. So if you watched the horse video, you know that you're gonna hear a little baby talking in the background here too, because she woke up from her nap. So if you watched the horse video, you know that I recommended kind of trying to get things a little bit more in balance with nature. And so for us humans, of course, you know, we have, almost all of us have chronically high levels of inflammation due to our high levels of stress and the processed foods that we eat. So the absolute best thing you can do if you are experiencing high levels of inflammation in your own body would be to reduce the amount of processed foods you're eating. And that includes things like white flour, white sugar, caffeine, alcohol. Trust me, I love all of these things too, but the more you can reduce those down, get onto things more like green tea, whole grains, low glycemic sweeteners, you're really gonna notice a difference pretty rapidly in your body as soon as you stop adding those inflammatory things and start using more of the anti-inflammatory foods instead. Anti-inflammatory foods, just like our horses, we're gonna see omega-3s being super important. For us, you can use a nice high quality fish oil, or just eat more high quality fish in your diet. I happen to detest fish personally, so I take a fish oil pill right before bed so I don't taste the aftertaste of the fish. And also chia seeds, algae is a great source of omega-3s, all kinds of options there. But just whatever you choose, make sure it's a high quality omega-3 supplement and try to get as many of those into your diet as possible. The other thing that is great is just all of the fresh produce, fresh fruits and vegetables. As much as you can get those in, all those phytonutrients are really going to be helpful for your body. And then sort of like our horses, the herbal anti-inflammatories like turmeric and ginger, those are also going to be helpful for us. So looking at all of those things in our diet first and foremost, that's the thing that you're going to be able to do right now, today, at your next meal. You have 3 opportunities every single day to make an impact on your health and your body, and I highly recommend you try to at least make some little change in your next meal if you're experiencing high inflammation. I also am a big fan of an additive approach and kind of, you know, little tiny baby steps if that works for you. So instead of trying to tackle it all and say, I'm never going to eat refined sugar again, because it's just not realistic in this world, what I prefer is saying like, okay, like what is one swap I could make in this meal? Instead of having like a flour tortilla, maybe I could just eat a burrito bowl and take some of that, you know, refined white carbohydrates out of this meal. Or, you know, maybe instead of having 2 cups of coffee today, maybe I could just have 1 and maybe see how that goes. But definitely don't be hard on yourself because you don't want to be hard on yourself, but also because the next thing that's really important for reducing inflammation in our body is reducing stress. And again, best way to reduce stress, just like our horses, is gentle movement every day. If you can get some gentle exercise, that's fantastic. And then also making sure you're sleeping well, making sure your relationships are good if that's possible. Go to therapy if you can, you know, if you have the means to do so. You know all the ways that you like to de-stress. I'm not going to harp on that because I think even kind of trying to de-stress can feel stressful sometimes in this very stressful and high-paced world that we all live in. But see what you can do. You know what stresses you out. You know yourself better than anybody. And just see what you can do to start making some of those swaps to have a little bit less stress in your day-to-day life. Okay, all of that said, we've now kind of touched briefly. This is a very, you know, broad overview of inflammation in the human body. There are plenty of amazing resources out there for inflammation specifically, but I just wanted to kind of touch on it here just to start the conversation. If you want to go in more in depth with this, you can totally reach out to me. All of my contact info is in the description below, and I would be happy to work with you one-on-one to come up with a plan that works best for your unique body and your unique situation and your unique horse, and get you working together as a super healthy, vibrant team. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and share. It is my mission to share this information with as many horse people as I can, to help as many horses and their humans as I possibly can. And that is made possible by people like you helping me out. As I'm here also trying to parent during this video, I also feel I should note that I have a series for pregnant and new mom equestrians. So check out those videos if that resonates with you, because those are really important to me too. So anyway, I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for sticking with me through this chaos.